Political Report on Friday shifted its focus for 20 GOP incumbents or open districts to categorize less favorable for Republicans. Republicans' 217 to 213 passage of the American Health Care Act, okay, on Thursday guarantees Democrats will have at least one major on-the-record vote to exploit in the next election, the report wrote. Not only did dozens of Republicans in marginal districts just hitch their names to an unpopular piece of legislation, Democrats just received another valuable candidate recruitment tool. So, the House is up for play here, according to the Cook Report. Now, the Cook Report, you can pull this up. That is, and let me give you just the report. If you go there, it's called the Cook Report, Political Report, 218, House 218, rating changes in 20 districts. This is straight from the Cook Report. Republicans 217 to 213 passage of the American Health Care Act on Thursday guarantees Democrats will have at least one major on-the-record vote to exploit in next election. Although it's the first of potential many explosive votes, House Republicans' willingness to spend political capital on a proposal that garnered the support of just 17% of the public in March Quinnipiac poll is consistent with the past scenarios that have generated midterm wave. So the Cook Report immediately comes out to help with a wave. They're trying to get the wave started. You know, when you go to you're going to think it's silly, but you know when you go to the baseball field and there's the one guy that starts up and does the wave, and in the next section two. All right, by the time you get done, you know, you got the wave going around the park, right? You have the Cook Report, you have the media, you have three areas, Democrats, Cook Report, and the media, that are starting to create the wave, okay? In a midterm wave. Not only did dozens of Republicans in marginal districts just hitch their names to an unpopular piece of legislation, Democrats just received a valuable candidate recruitment tool. A valuable candidate recruitment tool. Maybe like a Jon Ossoff. Maybe timing could not be better for three little commercials of Medicaid, okay? Medicaid cuts, pre-existing conditions, and tax cuts for the rich. All right? Do you have a graph over there from MSNBC that says losers?
Yes.
Okay.
Losers.
Yeah, put that up, the losers. Okay. The losers. This is on Chuck Todd's show yesterday, which Andrea Mitchell hosted because Chuck was probably, I don't know. Health bill losers. The poor. This is what they put up. This is what they wrote yesterday on NBC Meet the Press. Health bill losers, the poor. Older Americans. Okay? Would you mix that up with the dependent, the government dependent? Now, I want to say something to older Americans out there. I am not calling you dependent on the government. Leave that up right there, okay? I'm not calling you dependent on the government, okay? I'm really not. But you worked your whole life, you worked hard, you put your money up, you saved it like you were supposed to, you put your kids through college. I mean, it was the old days when you actually put your kids through college, and the government didn't. Not everything you did out there in that generation 60 plus, not everything you did out there did the government do for you, help you, or help you provide for your children, you really worked hard. But you have dependency now on a Social Security check every month. You have dependency on certain health care rates. You have dependency on your Medicare, all right? So there's some dependency built in your life of the federal government, and it's not a negative as though you've done something, okay? I want to be clear. So I don't want to just say, hey, older America, you're just dependent out there. But pick up the two first things, the poor, what they call the poor, okay, which you might as well translate dependent on the government. So the narrative will be, how can we convince the dependent on the government that these are bad people and they only like rich people? First and foremost, I mean, you know, optics, okay? President Trump, they ran immediately with the picture of you with all the white guys. I'm sorry, the optics, that's the first thing. Did you notice a white billionaire male standing there with white congressmen that, for the most part, all of them in the picture are millionaire congressmen, all white men. So there you go. They have that picture, right? They have that picture. You're going to put that on all the ads telling all of America that rich white men decided. So they're going to go after the dependent of the poor. And the older Americans, that's a dependent, okay? Now, who else does it hurt? People with pre-existing conditions. So NBC is getting the talking points here. Andrea Mitchell on Meet the Press. People with pre-existing conditions, right? There you go, pre-existing conditions. What pre-existing condition do you have? I mean, I'm serious. Dumbass is not included, okay? So don't send that in, all right? I'm sorry. Shouldn't have gone there. But what pre-existing condition? We are a very generous nation. We're caring people. And we do not sit back and watch people starve in this country. We don't sit back and watch people with pre-existing conditions go without health care. We don't do that. Now, I know there's somebody out there yelling, yes, but you are not aware of my family's issue and what happened when our baby was born. And you are not aware of what happened when our child had to have special care. Listen, I may be more aware of a special needs child than you think, okay? So I may be more aware of that than you think. So pre-existing conditions, all right, that and essential health benefits. So I just threw that in. Essential health benefits. Now, what are essential health benefits, okay? Essential health benefits. Those would be like, you know, certain coverage for certain things that maybe you don't have to buy anymore. Like maybe a woman 60 years old does not have to purchase maternity insurance no longer. Maybe they don't. Benefits. Maybe birth control is not covered. I don't know. But there are things that were in Obamacare that you're required to purchase that is not necessary. Essential health benefits. That's one of the reasons the young people would not, because they did not need all of these essential health benefits. But you, Obamacare, wanted the young people to pay for them so other people could have the essential health benefits. So those are the losers. Now, and we're breaking this down. This has a lot to do with the 6th District. We're going to stay all together here. This is one segment. After the monologue, Sam, this is all one segment until I say cut. Then the winners. Who are the winners in this? Now, this is exactly the narrative. This is the Democrat narrative that they've sent out to all the media. I don't know if you were able to even watch yesterday of how terrible it was out there with all the narrative. Now we're going to go over the health bill winners. NBC. Oh, hell! Why am I not shocked? Health. Now this is NBC. All right, meet the press. And this is the talking points of the week. Health bill winners. High income earners. Thank you. See, the thing about this, I don't know if I've won or lost, because I have no idea if I'm on the winner page or the loser page. High income earners, no pre-existing conditions. Perfect health, Jack. You went to the doctor, he said, perfect health. I mean, you're hitting on all cylinders, no high blood pressure, sugar is good, cholesterol is good. I mean, you know, you're healthy enough for sex. Well, that's what the commercial says, okay? So I'm sorry I said that, but right? You're supposed to always check with your doctor, right? What the hell, people? So everything is good. You got a clean bill of health. I mean, there's no pre-existing conditions. It's just, this bill was written right for you, right? If you're making a lot of money and, you know, and you're sitting around and you're, you have no pre-existing, young people. Well, hell you say, not young people. No, it could not have young people on the winners. Why do they not care to tell you that young people are winners? They actually are rolling the dice thinking that the older Americans, the elderly and anyone in a dependent, there's a lot of people that are elderly that voted for Donald Trump vote for Republicans. So they think they could switch that vote. They're going to push mama over the cliff, folks. You remember the commercial? They put grandma in the wheelchair and pushed her over the cliff, Republicans? Oh, yeah. I mean, you better be careful. Where is your grandma now? Because you better watch your grandma, because for the next damn till election day, they will be looking for every grandma they can find to push over the cliff. Just saying. Okay. Young people and large employers. See, that employer mandate is gone. Large employers. Now, those are the winners. The damn rich people. High income earners, no pre-existing conditions, young people, large employers. White guys. I see white people in this bill, don't you? I see white privilege. I see rich white men that passed this bill. So it could hurt the losers. Can I get the losers back, or is that too far? The losers, the poor, older Americans, people with pre-existing conditions, essential health benefits. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to jog around the building once or twice. That's part of my health care plan, okay? Get off my ass and walk. Take a break. Sam, take us a break. We'll be right back. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP, the voice of rural America. I enjoy that so much. You know, Sam, I was thinking, turn your mic on there just a second. I know Sam gets nervous when I get to thinking. I could just...
I just see the smoke coming out of his ears.
Is that a sign? Well, Sam, if it's going to be the voice of rural America, it's like we have to take the show on the road, right?
Okay.
Like Texas? You think of Texas?
No.
What happened to Texas? God bless Texas. Oh my God.
That's like a 12-hour road trip.
Oh no, we're going for months. It's the big tour bus and everything. It's the voice of rural America. You know, good morning from the office tour bus.
Okay.
I mean, I'm serious. We can't do this if we... I mean, I'm thinking Iowa. I'm thinking Texas. I mean, because there's about any city you can go to now in Texas because there's no sanctuary cities. But we have... The future of the show has to go on the road. You just have to remember that, okay?
All right.
All right, don't forget it. Smoke in ears. I can't believe you said that. Folks, you can contact me, 706-889-9700, or you can send me a message to chief@fetyournews.com. And that's anytime, 24/7. Anytime, 24/7. 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. Before we move along, we had a long weekend. Construction here in the studio. I have to admit, like last night I was ready to drop over. It was like, it was game over for me, okay, last night. But did you see, you got the picture of me over at the Blossom Festival where Abby, the ice cream, now I'm going to put this up because anybody that doesn't think BKP is a good sport, right, Sam? That was a good sport. Who is that? What is that? Abby is that Abby over at the ice cream place?
Frozen yogurt, yes.
Frozen yogurt. Abby's frozen yogurt. And, you know, Abby wanted a hug. And I was like, oh, really? You see it in my face right now. That's just save that picture for any time we need to put up that BKP can be a good sport when he has to. I'm a good sport. Unlike Cub fans that went down in 18 innings last night, I'm a good sport. Anyhow, to the Yankees, 18 innings, right? So, moving right along. Sam, what other videos did I send you? Oh, did you put that up? I like that. That's, you gotta be careful. We'll get in trouble with the Cub fan who put that up. What other videos did I send you this morning?
You sent me one about Governor Greg Abbott and the Yankees Cubs.
All right, anything else besides that one?
Yes, and you sent me
Susan Collins. Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. That's Susan Collins. All right. Anyhow, we talked about the 218. We talked about the now Democrats are pushing 12 seats their way. And we talked about the winners and losers in health care. We're staying on it. Is this a coincidence? Just put that up real fast. Is this a coincidence? Is it just all a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, how is Bill Clinton, let's tie this in, let's go to the 6th District. How is Bill Clinton helping out, okay, helping out, I really like this one. Do you realize, folks, that every time, is this a coincidence? Leave that there just a second. Every time we run into something in this country that we're like, what the hell? We find a damn Bush or a Clinton somewhere in the weeds. Bush in the weeds, no pun intended, okay? We find one of them. We go back and we find a damn Clinton or a Bush somewhere. A federal judge, let me put this first before I put this up. A federal judge, now go, we got the Jon Ossoff and Karen Handel. Find that picture, put it up, okay? A federal judge, which you have been listening to this story, but I'm going to tell you one side that I don't think I have read several articles that nobody's talking about. Nobody is talking about this. Federal judge, this is from the AJC, Christina Torres. Federal judge orders Georgia to reopen voter registration ahead of the 6th District runoff, okay? Oh, everybody's up in arms. This federal judge, right, is Timothy Batten, right? U.S. District Timothy Batten from the North Georgia Federal Court District, right? He has ordered voter registration back open for the 6th Congressional District race between the man-child there. Get that boy a sandwich. Jon Ossoff, all right, and Karen Handel, all right. So you could go register to vote for the June 20th. Now, your ass was too lazy sitting on the couch, you know, before at the April 20th, or right around there, April 20th election, when they had the election. This is the runoff. So obviously, there's reason for new voters that were not interested the first time, according to Democrats, that may need to go vote. I'm just going to jump ahead just for a second. This race could come down to 1,000 votes. And they are out. Let me read this, and then we're going to do our usual every day, thank a Bush or a Clinton. Okay, a federal judge on Thursday ordered Georgia to temporarily reopen voter registration ahead of a hotly contested congressional runoff in the 6th District. U.S. District Judge Timothy Batten made the ruling as part of a broader lawsuit by the Washington-based advocacy group, which last month accused Georgia of violating federal law by reducing the amount of time residents have to register to vote. Voter registration shut down March 20th ahead of the deciding runoff and June 20th for the 6th Congressional District, which is being held in the northern suburbs of Atlanta. No, that's not true, okay? That is not true. Let's tell the truth here. Voter registration was shut down March 20th ahead of the deciding runoff June 20th. No, that's not true. It was shut down March 20th by law 30 days before this election, which resulted in a runoff. Okay? They want to lead you to believe that they shut this down in advance. Okay? They shut it down in advance. They did not. They shut it down by federal law 30 days before this actual election. We're going to talk about that because it's time for states. It's time for federal election law. And President Donald Trump, if you want to do anything, I'm going to show you what you can do right here in just a minute. All right? Because this is biting us in the keister, okay? And God knows we can always go back and thank a Bush or a Clinton every time we look into this stuff. Voter registration shut down March 20th ahead of the deciding 20th runoff. Not true. Batten, however, ordered registration immediately reopened until May 21st, a month before the runoff. So you gotta pay attention here. Everybody's up in arms about this judge opening this back up. So is it the election of an office or each election no matter what? See, the 6th Congressional Election District to replace Tom Price, the HHS Secretary from the 6th District, that election was held, what, April 20th. So March 20th or whatever it was the appropriate cutoff date for that election legally, okay? But at that time, nobody knows that I apologize, I can't get the volume to go off on this thing that I'm using right now. So at that time, nobody knows what would happen if there's going to be a runoff. There we go. Apologize, folks. So at that time, nobody knows there's going to be a runoff, so it was cut off exactly right. So where I'm going with this is a spokeswoman for the Georgia Secretary of State, Kemp, said the office will seek to comply with the order. Brian Kemp swore at oath to uphold and defend the Georgia law. Spokeswoman Candace Bryce said that is what he did, and that is what he will continue to do. Now, getting into the weeds here, what is required is that the federal election law requires that the federal election law requires, I may need a new computer. No, I don't. I just saying that because I'd like to get one. Federal election law requires that voter registration is open 30 days before an election. So let's get to the thank you. I mean, get along, move along. What's the point? So this judge, another thing about the judge before I get any further, the first thing they do is they tell you the judge, a conservative judge appointed by George W. Bush in 2006, was it? Really? Really? So again, so we have a Bush to thank for the judge, all right? Now, a lot of articles you'll read, they'll say this goes back to a 1993 election National Voter Registration Act of 1993. What do you and I know all too well? Show them Bill Clinton's picture there with the group Motor Voter. And have all three of those ready, all of the Motor Voter ones. It's like Motor Voter 1. It's him, and there you go. There you go, folks. A judge from George W. Bush telling them they'll have to reopen. They have to reopen registration due to a 1993 act, as you and I know of, is called Motor Voter. Remember all the way back in 1993 where Bill signed the old Motor Voter Act in 1993? That's Motor Voter Law. Bill signing that right there. Happy as could be to change national voter registration of 1993. And we waited this long for us to have it take advantage of us in the 6th district. Nice, thank you very much. Show me motor voter 2. Registration, right? 1993, Bill gave it to us. In the 1993, Congress passed a law dubbed the Motor Voter Law. What did it do? Register by mail. Register voters as they apply for a driver's license. The old ready and give us the last one just for the final there. Registered motor voter.
That's the only ones I have.
Okay, I thought I had 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So there you go. Motor voter registration there. When you get your driver's license, or you can just do it by mail. You got 30 days to do it by mail. Who's going to validate all this? Now, what you're going to hear every single day is how this is a 1993 National Voter Registration Act. You know, talk about motor voter, okay? Now, in 1993, the national, if you go and look at it, you got to go down to number 27 of this great bill that Bill Clinton signed, that George Bush's appointed judge upheld the other day. Section 27. Does Section 8 impose a time deadline on states for accepting voter registration applications and registering eligible applicants? Yes, it does. States must set a voter registration cutoff for federal elections for no more than 30 days before an election. There's the sticking point. 30 days before an election. The main election or the runoff? See, the federal government and Ossoff and the Democrats and George Bush's appointee to the court says this is a whole different election. An election is an election. If you got to go vote, it's an election. That's what they're saying. 30 days before an election, a valid voter registration application from the eligible applicant is considered timely, and the state has to ensure that the applicant is registered to vote if it is, one, submitted submitted not later than the lesser of 30 days or a period provided by the state before the date of the federal election to the driver's license office, dedicated public assistance or disability office, other designated office, or an appropriate state or local election office. States can set a voter registration deadline for federal elections shorter than 30 days, and a number of states do this, but cannot set a longer deadline. So if you had an election and it was, you know, in 30 days, that window, a state could say, you've got 15 days to register for this election if it was an immediate election. But anything over 30 days of a federal election, a state can't extend it and say, hey, 45 days, 50 days. So that is what everybody is up in arms about, because thank you, Bill Clinton in 1993. Bill Clinton knew this would work one day, right, somewhere. We have the motor voter. That's how you and I know it. And I want to ask you right now to send me a message and tell me if any of the AJC reporting, Washington Post reporting, any national reporting about this election refers to this 1993 federal election law as the motor voter bill, to remind people it was Bill Clinton. I want you to see if anybody has talked about Bill Clinton signing this and what it actually does. Now, 30 days before an election. So the state of Georgia said 30 days before this election, they cut off registration. They did, by law. It went to a runoff, okay, 2 months later, which left a 30-day window for people to register for the next leg of this election. So what is an election? The actual office that somebody is seeking, is that the election for the office? Or any time you go to the ballot box? Because the Democrats definitely got their way in this one, and they're registering them left and right. And we're going to stay on this segment because it all wraps together. We're not going to close this off. We're going to come right back and we're going to talk about that. But thank you, Bill. Thank you, George. We can't say enough good things about you, right? Oh, what the hell. Take us to break, Sam.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family-owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices,
friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine.
patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Better days ahead. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hey, and we're back. I'm your host, BKP, the voice of rural America. Thank you for tuning in every day from 8 to 10 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Now, Friday, we will be at Sycamore Crossing. I hope everyone is doing well. We had a tough week in North Georgia with storms that came through here. I hope everybody's power has been restored. Been pretty tough. Across the Southeast, all the Southeast, with storms, tornadoes, and a lot of people suffering a lot of damage in these past couple days. Now, that being said, we are supposed to be outdoors on Friday at Sycamore Crossing, and last week the storms caused us to have to which it's not bad, because let me tell you, when I go on in and set up in the morning, it's like the first thing I smell is like pizza dough and sauce. I'm thinking, how can you ever go wrong with this, right? So we've been at Blue Jeans Pizza, but this week we'll be at Sycamore Crossing outside at 8 o'clock. Clay is going to come back. Remember Clay from last week? I enjoyed that, didn't you, Sam? Yes. I enjoyed Clay coming. Clay bought a mandolin. We went over and checked it out. It's really nice, right, Sam? Sam and I went over to Tupelo Tea after the show, and Clay showed us his new mandolin. So he's going to play a couple tunes for us on Friday, and then we'll also have our Pet of the Week. The Humane Society of Blue Ridge will bring over a Pet of the Week, which at 9:30, I said 9 o'clock, you stick with me here. I will end the show with the apple blossom, because we have a pooch parade of pictures, right, Sam? We'll call it that. There you go, right? We got a lot of great pictures of a good time this past weekend at the Apple Blossom Festival right here in LJ. Now, moving right along, let's put the Susan Collins, and I don't know on these kind of videos if you can move it a little forward, but let's put the Susan Collins video up. Now, stay with this. We may not play all 6 minutes, but this is what you have to look forward to in the Senate. And so you got the sound bites, pre-existing conditions, Medicaid, you got all of that, okay, from this past weekend. So none other than Susan Collins from Maine, a senator from Maine, with George Stephanopoulos, and Susan Collins saying, hey, we're going to scrap this whole thing and start over. So let's play that video, and if I can hear it also, Sam. And on the bottom of this one, can you move it a little for me if I ask?
I should be able to.
Okay, go ahead and put it there. We might be moving it a little bit.
Is up and tweeting this morning, just out a few moments ago. He says Republican senators will not let the American people down. Obamacare premiums and deductibles are way up. It was a lie, and it is dead. We are joined now by one of those Republican senators, Senator Susan Collins from Maine. Senator, thank you for joining us this morning. We just heard the president right there. You heard Speaker Ryan as well, but you had serious concerns. You were against the original House bill. Is it fair to say you're against the amended one?
I have a lot of concerns. It's difficult to assess the new House bill because we still don't have a CBO analysis of the impact on coverage and costs, and those are key questions.
Those are key questions. I mean, we heard Dr. Gawande weigh in on that as well, but you heard Speaker Ryan right there. He says he's going to take care of those older rural Americans who don't have the tax credits, who are going to lose their subsidies under Obamacare. He cited your state of Maine several times.
Well, first of all, one of the problems with the House bill is that the tax credits are not adjusted for income or geographic region. That really hurts a state like Maine, where we have an older population living in largely more expensive rural areas as far as health care is concerned. I've heard a lot of talk about the Maine high-risk pool, and indeed it was a success in Maine for the 18 months or so in which it operated before the passage of the ACA, and it can be part of the solution. But in Maine, we had definite revenue streams supporting the high-risk pool, and that is why it worked. In the House bill, it's really up to the states to come up with whatever option they wish. So that could work, and it could be part of the solution, but the devil really is in the details.
So do you agree with the Speaker Ryan and President Trump are saying that people with pre-existing conditions are going to have the same coverage they have now, even better? Speaker Ryan said in some cases layers of protection than under Obamacare?
I think that's unlikely, but so much discretion is given to the states without any guardrails. The difference between that approach and the approach in the bill that Senator Cassidy and I have introduced is we keep the ACA safeguards, the consumer protections for people with pre-existing conditions. It's true that under the House bill that a state that gets a waiver would still have to provide coverage to people with pre-existing conditions, but that coverage might well be unaffordable. And if the coverage is unaffordable, that doesn't do any good for a child who has juvenile diabetes and is going to have that her entire life, and once she's no longer on her parents' policy, that's going to create problems in some states.
If the House bill were before you today, would you be a yes?
Well, first of all, the House bill is not going to come before us. The Senate is starting from scratch. We're going to draft our own bill, and I'm convinced that we're going to take the time to do it right. Speaker Ryan today said that he hoped that the Senate would improve the House bill. I think we will do so, and that we will come up with a whole new fresh approach that solves the legitimate flaws that do exist with the ACA, where we've seen in some markets insurers fleeing, so people won't be able to buy subsidized insurance, but it will also keep some of the benefits of the ACA. My goal is to actually expand coverage for those 28 million Americans who still
Folks, is this a 2-hour show? Because I might need 4 hours today. I might have to go over on this. Oh my God. We need to know the CBO impact. We're scrapping it, starting from scratch, right from scratch. They've got all fresh ingredients. I mean, House sent them over something, all they got to do, make a couple adjustments, throw it in the microwave. It could be on the president's desk. Bada bing, bada boom, and it's there, right? No, we're going to start from scratch. See, here's what we're going to do. We're going to drag this into the election. We're going to make this an election issue. We're going to drag this so far into the election that we're going to risk the Senate, because we only have 52 votes, and at this time, that's not even a Republican, and the one up in Alaska is not a Republican. So obviously, hey, where's Kelly Ayotte when I need her? I mean, really, I thought she would be the problem, right? So anyhow, this lady here, so we only really have 50. Republicans really only have 50 senators right now. That's it. And they've got Mike Pence that's already been down there twice. Mike, what are you doing this afternoon at 2? Well, I got to fly around the world. We got this whole North Korea thing going on, and I'm kind of helping out over here. Well, we can't trust the two damn liberal Republicans that are actually Democrats. We can't trust them, so you'll need to fly back. So you'll have to be 51, okay? Because the vice president presides over the Senate. Okay, whether you know that or not. Mitch McConnell is the majority leader, but he is actually presides over the Senate with a final vote. So they know Republicans only have 50 votes, actually, okay, on a good day. So she wants to start from scratch, expand. She wants to expand the 28 million. Holy mackerel. And she used the word coverage. If coverage is unaffordable, watch this in the talking points, the word affordable switching to unaffordable. They'll use it in the same sentence. Well, they called it Obamacare, but truthfully, nobody wanted to discuss its real name, the Affordable Health Care Act, okay? Affordable. America's Affordable Health Care Act, right? And they'll use affordable, and now it's turned, Republicans has turned it unaffordable. Look, but the truth is out there. Yes, we will have to bring you the truth on a daily basis and work day and night to get you the truth. So that way, there's the deception of millions of dollars. Look at it, Ossoff. We're going to go back to that race in just a minute. The deception in these races with millions of dollars pouring in with TV ads that we can overcome, okay? If you tell a lie long enough and you can't get away from the lie, I mean, eventually you think, well, I wonder, that's what they said on TV. A couple things in Susan Collins. CBO impact, she'd like to see that. This is income. The older population, geographic. Did you see that? The older population, geographic. Here is the thing in the, I'm trying not to get mad. But damn it, here's the thing that really gets under my skin with every last one of these elitist senators and these jackasses up in Washington, D.C. Why can't we trust the damn states to do anything? Susan Collins basically says we can't trust the states. Well, this would put a lot of responsibility on the states. There you go. Bingo. Give the woman a prize, because that's what we want. We want our state rights back. We want the federal government out of it, and we want things pushed back to the states. Well, we'd like to send it back to the states, but you know you can't trust them damn states. Why can't you? Why can't you trust the states? Majority of all governors' mansions are occupied, and state governors' houses are occupied by a Republican governor. The majority of all House and Senate, state House and Senate, have a majority Republicans. Is it that bad? Are we getting that? You got to understand, read between lines. They can't trust the states. Interesting. So anyhow, that's Susan Collins. All right. Now, getting back to the 218. All right, Cook Political Report has already moved 20 seats that way. All right, the Senate is to take up the health care bill with a fresh approach. Susan Collins there. Okay, we have Motor Voter. We've done that. Motor Voter, which in 1993, 30 days before an election, right? We have Judge Batten, a Bush appointee judge that ruled that they have to open registration for everybody, open registration for everybody in the runoff between Ossoff and Karen Handel, okay? Now, before I get to the last part on that, because I'm running out of time, and I want to talk about Greg Abbott today, don't mess with Texas. Jon Ossoff, this is the opinion pages of the Washington Post. Jon Ossoff may have won Georgia's 6th district this past week. Whoa! We're going to have to start pumping in oxygen into the room or something, Sam, okay? We are. We're going to have to have the fresh oxygen machines that pump it in here. Jon Ossoff may have won the 6th district this past week. Nice little opinion. Jennifer Rubin, May 7th in the Washington Post. The Georgia 6th Congressional District Special Election to replace now Secretary of Health and Human Services Tom Price was already looking like a referendum on President Trump. It was already looking that way, right? With millions of dollars pouring into the race on both sides. The contest between Democrat Jon Ossoff and Republican Karen Handel seemed tailor-made to measure the demographic shifts in wealthy suburbs and the staying power of the Trump message, okay? This past week, the race became a referendum specifically on the American Health Care Act. Ossoff put out a statement after the House voted deploring the bill. Ossoff said, I strongly oppose this bill, which allows discrimination against Georgians with pre-existing conditions. Oh, hell. Everybody got that email but me. If I'd have got that, Sam, am I missing an email? Because I don't have the talking points. Ossoff had them immediately. Pre-existing conditions. And would make health care unaffordable. Oh my God, there's the word unaffordable for millions. Did I just say that would start showing up in sentences? Damn, I amaze myself sometimes. Just in a matter of 30 seconds, too. Pre-existing conditions and would make health insurance unaffordable for millions of families, he said. This bill puts Georgians' life at risk. It's like Alan Grayson said, die quickly. That is the answer, you old people. Just die quickly and this could all be over. What the hell? All right, unaffordable insurance for millions of families, he said. This bill puts Georgian lives at risk. Congress should put aside partisan policies and work to make affordable. Wait a minute. Did unaffordable and affordable come together that quick? Well, hell. I mean, I just said that a minute ago. I didn't know it was going to happen this soon. This bill puts Georgia lives at risk. Congress should put aside partisan politics and work to make affordable insurance and quality care available to all Americans. Handel did not even question the absence of the Congressional Budget Office score. Her office gave the Washington Examiner a statement. Karen would have joined the Republicans in Georgia delegation in voting in favor of the bill. She believes that the status quo is unacceptable and that this legislation, while not perfect, represents just the first step in replacing Obamacare with patient-centered health care. Of note, she didn't bother to defend it on its merits. See, Ossoff, this is an opinion piece. They're okay with that. Oh, there was no merit. Had she been in the House, she would have been one more dutiful foot soldiers for Trump. Ossoff also got a big win in the court this past week. The Associated Press reported. Now listen to this. A federal judge on Thursday ordered Georgia officials to reopen voter registration in the suburb Atlanta Congressional District ahead of heated special election that's seen by many as a test of President Donald Trump's influence. U.S. District Judge Timothy Batten ruled in favor of a civil rights advocacy group who argued that Georgia violated federal law by preventing more new registered voters before the June 20th runoff. Georgia had set the registration date for March 20th, 30 days before the first round of voting in April. Batten, who was appointed by former President George W. Bush in 2005, ordered the state to extend the deadline to May 21st and allow any district resident residing by law to cast ballots in a runoff. Who's going to have time to check all of this, right? I guess there's plenty of time to make sure you live there. Democrats were delighted with the results. How can you not be? Which offered them a chance to find new voters in the wake of the health care vote. I don't have time. Ossoff has reserved $5.2 million in TV and radio ad time while Handel is relying in part on President. Okay, so affordable, unaffordable. Democrats registering people. They have armies out, serious small armies out trying to register people. If you are stopped in the 6th district today and you're asked, have you registered to vote? And they say no. If you incline, they have a questionnaire. If you imply you would vote Republican, they let you fill out the registration and throw it away. Sorry. Truth's the truth. It hurts. It's a fact. Oh, they'll set up these little booths at the colleges. They'll set up these little booths at places for kids and stuff like that. Make them put the nice music. Music's bumping. Everything's going on. They rock the vote. Whatever the hell they're doing nowadays, right? That's what they do. And if they have some questions, and if you imply that you would vote for Karen Handel, they let you register. But before that person turns in their registration forms for the day, the Republicans go in the trash. You don't believe me? All right, maybe you don't believe me. What the hell? I can't, hey, just telling you, just saying. They are out. This race will come down. This race will come down to, okay, it will come down to about, let's say it does, 1,000 votes. They're out there registering them now, okay? Legal, illegal, nobody has a chance. They're moving people in the district. I mean, this thing is getting so bad, even Jon Ossoff may even be allowed to vote before this is over. Really? Because he can't vote. He couldn't vote for himself the first time. Now look, whether you like the guy or not, whether you like Karen Handel, I just would have to scratch my head for going and voting for a guy that couldn't even vote for himself. But hey, federal judge might say, hey, John deserves a vote, right? Don't they all? I'm going to move past that. I'm going to move past that. That's the end of that segment. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and wrap up the show. Let's go there. Let's wrap the show up.